In the last few lessons, we had talked about the conditional statements, switch statements, and there's also another one that can be used where we've got what's called a ternary statement. So we do this check, so it's similar to the conditional statements where we're looking for if a is equal to 5, and if a is equal to 5, then it's going to return back the first value and separated by the colon, and if this is not true, then it's going to return back no. So when we go back out to the console, because a is equal to 5, the console is going to return back yes. So when I refresh it, I can see that it's being returned back yes in the console. And this can be used as a short form for conditional statements. So if you do want to check to set a value of b or something, and you want it dependent on what happens with another variable, so you do a quick check, and it saves you the trouble of doing that. If a is equal to 5, then b is equal to yes, else b is equal to no. So it really simplifies things and condenses that statement into one quick JavaScript command. So we had also, so if I go back out now, a is not going to be equal to 5, so we're going to get a value for b being returned as no. So we had also looked at different arithmetic ways to do some increments. So we had talked about, we'd done this one before where we just do these two plus signs. So what this is the same as is doing a equals a plus 1. So we can do those two plus signs instead. And now when we do a equals a plus 1, we should get returned back yes. That value of b now is set to 5. We can also do minus, and we've got another one that's we can do. So we can do minus, we can do division as well. So to decrease it, to do a -1, all we'd have to do is a, and that would decrease. Actually, it's the other way around. That's why I'm getting that error there. So this would actually decrease a, and maybe we could console log out the value of a there, because we're not going to be using that b anymore. So now when I go back out and refresh the page, that 4 subtracts 1, and we get a value of 3, and for b it's no longer equal to yes, so this is no longer true. We can also do division, so if we wanted to do, let's set another value and do c, or declare c equals a minus, or a divided by 4. And so this will give us a value for c of a divided value. For 4 divided by 4 is 0.75, so I'm not sure what happened there, but because we still had that -1. So if we divide it by 3, then we should have a value of 1. So the same thing, you could do multiplication. So 4 times 3 would be 12, so we would get a return value of 12 for that one. We can also look at the modulus. So this is the remaining value. So the way that this works is we can do a returned value of c. So we can do something like c, and we do a modulus equals so if we did a modulus of 12, just so you what gets returned back there, so we get a return back value of 9. So 9 is the remainder when we do the c, the value of c. just going back to there, so the modulus, if we do a console log of C modulus 9, because I forgot that we're always doing this decrease of A, so it's actually going to be, C is actually going to equal to 9, and if we do a modulus of 9, we're going to actually equal 0. And this is one way that if you want to do alternating rows, so you can do a modulus of 2 to check out and see if a value is odd or even. So if it does have a remainder, if it returns back 1, that means that it's going to be an odd number, and even number is going to return back. I'm just going to get rid of that one, and an even number is going to return back 0. So that's one way you can get alternating rows within JavaScript as well. And I also wanted to mention within this lesson that JavaScript has a built-in math function. So if we want to get just a random number, so I'm going to just do d equals math random. This is going to return back a value of so anything up to 1, so it's going to be a number between 0 and 1. And I can just console log out d. So every time we run it, we're going to get a random number returned back there. So as you can see, it's just a random number from 0 to 1. And the decimal places are included. So if you want to get a random number, let's say 0 to 1000. So now we're getting this random number 0 to 1000, and JavaScript also has a built-in function to drop all of that additional decimal places. So you can either math floor it, so these are additional functionality, or you can go to ceiling. So the difference between floor and ceiling is, that should be a period. So if I do math floor, it's going to bring back down that value to the nearest whole integer, whole value. So this would be 983, and when I refresh it, I should get a number from anywhere from 0 to 1000, just a random number. That's how you set random numbers. And alternatively, you could do ceiling, and that would bring the value up to the top of the decimal plate. And there's a whole bunch of additional mathematical functionality, and then working with this and functions really does provide a lot of powerful options with JavaScript and calculations.